It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Idiots Podcast.
Floyd gonna get his ass whipped by that dude.
What dude?
Floyd ain't supposed to be fighting somebody?
Yeah.
Logan Paul? Jake Paul?
All right. He's a different weight class, like I said.
Man, stop.
All right. I would love to see that.
Stop.
I'm just saying, you gotta be easy.
You think Logan Paul is gonna beat Floyd Mayweather?
If he do, he water himself down. Get out the way.
Is this one of them times we just creating content for the podcast? Or is Wax really serious? Like, you're really serious?
Andrew, do you think that this guy? I think he hit harder than Floyd. Did Floyd never knock anybody out? Did he?
Floyd
He's
knows
not
how
going to touch Floyd.
Exactly.
All right, then I want to see it. If he do, I think he's gonna hit him hard. I think Floyd not used to getting hurt. Hit first off, and Floyd never knocked anybody out. Did I see that he actually put him out?
Floyd's knocked out people.
I ain't seen him knock nobody out.
Floyd's knocked out people.
I see a lot of tapping. Listen, he win with points. I like Floyd game because he know how to box. He got the skill of boxing down, but fighting somebody who's a dog who want to come fuck you up, I think you put yourself in something, bro.
Do you know why nobody ever hit Floyd?
I understand. It's hard to hit this guy, but if he get hit up and dude put in a bad situation, I think he's going to win.
Do you think he will, though? That's the point.
I think Floyd might lose because of different weight class.
What are you saying?
I just want to see. I would love to see this.
Wax.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I know Logan. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not saying he's a close friend, but he's a colleague.
You've been on this podcast.
He watched the Super Bowl at my house out here in Miami. We do each other's podcasts. He's a very sweet guy. I've told him to his face that Floyd Mayweather is going to demolish him.
Okay, listen, that's cool.
And
That's
no
all
chance.
good. I'm looking at weight class.
No, wax.
Peace.
Wax.
Go ahead.
What is
The weight class makes him so much slower than Floyd. Go ahead, Sean.
Here's
Go
the
ahead.
thing. What is Floyd the best at? What is he known as the best at?
Dodging and getting out the way.
Greatest defensive fighter of all time.
Greatest
It's not even
defensive fighter
close.
of all
I think
time.
Floyd
So
could. I think if I shoot at Floyd once, he could move out the way.
At least one bullet. At least one bullet. Now,
At least one.
At least one.
All
what
right,
do you think that Logan has offensively that Floyd hasn't seen from the best fighters in history?
In the world.
Different weight class.
Wax, that makes him slower.
That don't make us more power. If he gets you in a situation, he's going to be in trouble.
He's way slower than Floyd. Floyd's conditioning is
I
still
would
better.
love to see that. Make sure we all watching this fight. I would love to see
So
this one.
Floyd Mayweather fought a guy named Canelo Alvarez.
Made him embarrassed him.
Embarrassed Canelo. Canelo Alvarez could not touch him. And Canelo
Could not
Alvarez
touch him.
is super fast, has great head movement.
get
Canelo
it.
Alvarez is
Amazing.
fighting guys right now that weigh 168 pounds. That means they probably walk around 190 pounds. Okay?
Yep.
Logan Paul probably weighs 190, something like that. Maybe a little bit more, but he's
And how much
muscular.
did Floyd weigh?
By the way, that night of Canelo Mayweather, they said Canelo, he weighed in at like 160 something, but they said on fight night, he
170.
might have been like 180.
Yeah.
They said he might have been like 180, 185 when he fought Floyd. And by the way, Canelo's the best pound for pound boxer in boxing right now.
How much Floyd weigh?
When?
I know right now how much Floyd weigh, or he gonna go?
I bet you right now Floyd's walking around at 153 or something.
I doubt that much.
49.
I doubt that much.
149, 150.
But still around that area. We're talking about around his fighting weight.
Okay.
Yo, when I say he embarrassed Canelo so bad, and this was Floyd was old, Canelo was super young, like early 20s. He made Canelo miss so bad one time that Canelo hit the top rope.
I remember that. Listen, I'm not taking nothing from Floyd. I just saying, stay in your weight class, you'll stay there, you'll be okay. Just like Robinson, he fucked his whole shit up.
You're comparing Floyd Mayweather to Nate Robinson.
I'm just saying about fucking your whole shit up because you're talking about the nose guy.
You're comparing Floyd Mayweather to Nate Robinson.
I'm not. We really talking about nose.
Floyd Mayweather in his sleep. In his sleep could dodge a punch. I'm talking about you could walk in Floyd's room and go boo and swing and he'd move out the way.
I get what you're saying, but ain't we talking about the guy nose and he over here he trying to do something else? And so I'm talking about Robinson. He shouldn't have went boxing. He was dunking on people.
Yo, that Who's Wax must be some good shit.
It is some good shit. It is, yo.
That Who's Wax weed must be some good shit.
It's amazing. You should go try it.
I have not heard one person, I'm talking about one human being on this planet say Logan Paul is going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Mike Tyson told Logan Paul, you don't stand a fucking chance. Boxing is a science, bro.
It is.
It's just a different
Wax.
It's like football.
Skill set.
It's just
Wax.
like football.
Wax.
It's all about angles and stuff. Who gets you there better? Go
Wax.
ahead.
Logan Paul doesn't even believe that he's going to beat Floyd Mayweather.
It's a payday. It's a payday.
You're
He
the
know that.
only person
I'm looking at
that
looking at
believes
size.
he's going to beat
Are
Floyd
you
Mayweather.
basing him off the other one?
No, I'm not facing the motherfucking
Wax.
the other guy.
Logan
No
Paul's
way.
gonna be huffing and puffing by the third, fourth round. And
If
by the
he
way,
get him.
he's not gonna touch him for the third or fourth, the first
Let's
3,
see.
4
I would
rounds.
love to see
By
this.
the fourth round, he's gonna be huffing and puffing, and you're gonna see Floyd picking this man apart badly.
Exactly.
And Floyd don't even gotta hit hard. It's just gonna be the repetition of pap, 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 pap.
Are you talking about because he's older now?
No, it's not that he's older at all. I'm looking at weight class. I seen some dudes who could fucking do karate who like, yo, he gonna whip his ass. And the other dude was just bigger. And them little shits ain't even fucking work. He knocked his ass the fuck out. Go to sleep, nigga.
Go to sleep. He said,
Put
go
him to
to sleep. Go to sleep. I love
Put him to
that.
sleep.
How much does Logan weigh?
Probably 200.
Oh my God, he's gonna get hurt.
But here's the thing.
All right, man.
He
He's
weighs
gonna get hurt.
200.
I'm talking through experience, man.
But he weighs 200, but he's bulked up to 200. He's not lean 200.
Oh my God, he's gonna get hurt.
He's put it on weight to be muscular at 200 pounds. If he was a pure boxer, he'd probably fight at 175 if he was going to be
75, I
like
see
a
that.
pure boxer. He's my height. He's about 6'2".
And how many fights has he had? 2?
Yeah, I think two fights.
Listen, I'm with you.
Are you serious?
But that's the motherfucking.
I will
world
be
go
honest
great.
with you though.
I'm
I
telling
will
you,
be
man,
honest
don't
with you
hit
though.
him.
I've heard from people that his brother Jake could fight for real, and I've heard from people I respect, guys who are in boxing.
We've seen
gyms.
Jake.
Yeah, but we saw him fight against Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson can't fight for shit. But I've heard from dudes that are like in the gym, like seeing him spar, like work with him. They say that they're like,
Is that
yo,
the same guy that's
kid
fighting
can fight.
Floyd, right?
No, that's Logan. Logan, his
Oh.
brother. Listen,
Oh.
Jake is probably a good amateur fighter, but I saw him on World Star yesterday, trying to call out Canelo Alvarez. It's like, relax, buddy.
Yo, but
like,
real
relax.
Real talk, Jake is saving
Stop.
boxing. No bullshit. I mean, there's 100%. Without Jake creating all this controversy in boxing, who the fuck will we care about in terms of boxing?
Well, the reason I can't give him that yet is because
Couple of people
he hasn't
out
fought no boxers. You know what I mean?
boxing
Like
tear his ass up.
I got to see Jake fight a boxer,
His
right?
weight class.
And I got to see, because the only interest I see him generating from other boxing fans is the fact that he's a cocky kid who people want to see him get fucked up, which is always the thing, right?
Reminds me of somebody else who did pretty well in boxing.
Floyd Money Mayweather.
There we
But
go. You
Floyd
need
Money
a villain.
Mayweather was Floyd Money Mayweather
Yes.
did that after he got to a certain point, and he was really good,
Really skilled.
He had beat a bunch of boxes.
Bernard
You know what I mean?
Hopkins played the villain his whole career. I'm not saying that Jake is as good as these professional boxers. Obviously, professional boxers are going to whoop his ass, but
Yeah,
he's
somebody's weight class
undeniably
fucked him up.
creating interest in a sport that was devoid of interest. The only interesting people that were in boxing were Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, I think, got concussed to the point where he don't even remember history correctly. And
Well, no,
Tyson Fury is just fighting English dudes in England. Like, nobody else is holding up the boxing game. Manny Pacquiao's still giggling. You don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. You know what I mean? What's his face? Oscar De La Hoya.
I'm gonna be
Shit.
honest with you.
Big
I don't
guy.
Him
think,
and
and I could.
Fallon
there were-
Fox are probably going out on the weekends.
Who?
Fallon
Who?
Fox, that girl you were talking about earlier.
Oh, there was a time when boxing was the biggest sport in America, right?
Yeah.
But I think around the 80s, 90s, 2000s, for the most part, except for like one fighter, which is probably Mike Tyson, boxing was for the casual fan. I mean, for the diehards. It wasn't for the casual fans.
Nah, dude, the Oscar De La Hoya era of boxing was massive. The Floyd Mayweather era of boxing was massive. Like, there have been
Floyd
guys.
bought in casuals. I don't
Lennox
think De La Hoya
Lewis.
bought in casuals, bro.
Everybody who did. Oh, De La Hoya was the first to bring in the casuals. He had the biggest
think
pay-per-view
so?
numbers in history. Yeah. And he was the first one, not the first, but one of the first to bring in women. Women saw him. He was a good-looking guy. And they went
Yeah,
fucking
that's
crazy.
true.
They'd pull up to the fights. But you also got to remember, once boxing started doing them 24/7 documentaries, that
Yes,
changed the game.
Because it was like looking at reality shows, but we didn't watch all of them. We watched
Mike Tyson.
Mayweather's.
We watched
I watch them
Mayweather.
now, but I'm a boxing guy. I love boxing, so I watch all that shit.
I'm just saying, like, the sport was popping, and then the financial return was huge. Like, these boxers were making tons of fucking money, and
They still are though.
Yeah, they are.
We lost the personalities, man. Once the personalities go, I mean, Canelo could be the most entertaining person in the world. We just can't understand what the fuck he's saying.
Oh yeah. He's like the Ultimate Warrior. He's like Bill Goldberg of the Ultimate Warrior. And even though he's Spanish, so we don't understand him, but he still has like that personality. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna lie. When they translate his shit sound fire.
It sounds fire, right?
Sounds fire. Like the shit he said about Jake Paul yesterday. I don't know if he really said it, but
He said.
the shit he said was like, yo, I don't respect him. He's a sucker. He's ruining the sport. Yada yada yada. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you say
shit.
you say he helping the sport. I think he's just fucking it up. I think somebody need to go in there, fuck him up, and sit his ass down.
Well, the fact that we're talking about boxing right now, which we rarely do outside of
We
like
always talk about boxing.
Nah, it's got to be a Mayweather fight. It's got to be a Tyson Fury fight.
Lennox Lewis, yeah.
It's got to be big. Lennox Lewis, bro. Lennox Lewis hasn't fought since way before we even started podcasting.
That who's wax, bro. That who's wax weed, bro. I'm telling you. You know, wax be on YouTube watching them old fights and thinking these people still fighting now, bro. I'm telling you.
Man, Instagram got all that shit, man.
I'm telling you, he think they still fighting right fucking now.
That shit
now,
was crazy.
To your point, Adrian Broner won a fight recently, and Adrian Broner was a great shit talker, but Adrian Broner couldn't back it up. So the problem with guys like Jake Paul is once you get your ass handed to you once, nobody wants to hear that shit no more.
And that's the thing about I don't know, bro. What I told Jake was this. I said, listen, you are gonna get one fight against a legit guy, and that's the fight you need to cash in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't take the fight with the real boxer until you're willing to lose the fight. Because everything, you know what I'm saying? Like everything right now is building up to that time where you actually fight Conor McGregor, you fight Floyd, or you fight someone who is going to beat you. But in the meantime, you got to specifically select people who are famous enough for you to generate interest, but not good enough at boxing where you can knock their asses the fuck out.
By the way, if I was Jake, that's all I would do, Schultz. I'd be trying to create my own league.
Yeah.
Forget fighting the real fighters. I'd be calling out rappers,
Basketball
athletes,
players,
all that shit. And I would be fucking with their egos.
Yup.
I'd be calling them old. You know what I mean? I might even throw a little racism in it. You know what I'm saying? But not racism on some like, fuck you black people, but like, yo, y'all just mad that, you know, a white boy is out here dominating, you know what I'm saying?
I'm mad already.
You afraid to get beat up by a white boy? No, I'm serious.
You got beat by a white boy. That's what Robinson can't be with his family right now.
Man, we haven't
Yo,
heard
you
Nate
know
Robinson
if you get beat up in
speak,
front of your girl, yo, that's something very important. I know
You
somebody
heard
who
Nate
got killed
Robinson
because he said they got beat up in front of his girl, yo.
Yo, we ain't seen
Wait,
Nate for
what
real. Nate, has Nate even been on Instagram yet?
Nate is gone, bro.
Yo, he's gone. He got
Nate
beat up in
is
front of
gone,
his girl.
Nah, that shit's fucked up, man. That
Nah,
shit's
you
fucked up.
cannot-
He's dunking on people,
No, for
man.
real, man. That's
Bro.
one of them fucking. He smoked your cousin right in front of you,
nigga.
and you ain't gonna do shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
on,
I thought that Tupac went too far when he gave Wood Harris that bag and above the rim to go shoot after he lost that game. But man, if there was ever a time to shoot up a goddamn arena,
Man, his wife should have had a something. She should have put a fucking smoke bomb or something in that motherfucker.
oh man, Nate,
Damn, Nate.
He
man.
responded after, and then after that,
I never
response,
seen
Yeah,
him.
but it was
hear
like
him.
some, you know, God got a plan when one
Shut
door
up,
closed.
man.
That don't work. That
He
ain't
got broken
nothing
up with.
Yeah. Like, that ain't got
girls
nothing to
do.
do with nothing, man.
Yo,
and
God did have a plan. And
Yeah,
you
for
were
Jake
part of it. Yeah.
for Jake Paul,
It was a plan for Jake, not a plan for Nate.
by the way,
That's what you. And when I Google
He
him,
used
that's
them.
all that comes up.
I
is
know,
the fight
man.
Stuff.
And I think we talked about that on the podcast. If I was Nate's homie, if I was in Nate's corner, I would have told Nate don't take that fight.
You can't. And Nate
Well,
called
we
Jake
jumping
out.
him. We jumping him. If I'm on your corner, you had to fight this nigga, and I'm be jumping this nigga.
I would have told
Nah,
Nate
not
not to
if you
take.
called out the fight. Your boy
Exactly.
called the other
Fuck
guy out.
that.
But I would
that.
have told Nate not to take the fight for the same reason we know Floyd Mayweather is going to beat up on Logan Paul. Jake Paul just has more experience in that goddamn ring.
I
Yeah.
don't think Nate-
Jake Paul has been in the gym more. Jake Paul has more experience with fights. Nate coming fresh off the basketball court, putting on some gloves.
He was like,
Come
Yeah.
on, bro.
You know what's tricky though for Logan
So
though?
fucked
With
up.
Logan fighting Floyd is that Logan is really likable. And like he plays the good guy very well. Whereas Jake does not care if people hate him. He does not care. He actually enjoys trolling. And that's what you need to be. In order to fight these guys and generate real revenue, he's got to lean into being a villain, and he's totally fine with that shit.
Yeah, but he got to win, bro.
He got to win.
When